Hi Happy Crafters, how are we all this fine afternoon? My name's Toni and welcome to my live studio. I hope you're all having a great day. The sun shines out, so it's been lovely to see it as well, because it's been really cold on the mornings, but obviously it's come better as the day's gone on. So beautiful afternoon, so I hope whatever you're doing, you're having a great afternoon. So for those of you that don't know who I am, my name's Toni and I am a guest presenter over on Create and Craft TV and have been there for about 5 years now. So we are a company that designs clear stamps, tools, inks, everything you could possibly imagine now. So today's studio is to show you some techniques and how to get the most out of one, your members gift if you manage to get it, and two, out of one of the stamps and die collection that was on our 4-day deal last week. Before I go on to those things though, I just want to say thank you so much if you purchased our goodies from the 4-day deal. It went down a storm and I am so pleased. So our studio is now here to help you get the most out of your stamps and dies. It's not a case of getting them home and thinking, what on earth do I do with them? This studio is to help you maybe learn more techniques, how to do different things with the stamps and dies that we create here at Stamps by Me. So if you have missed any of our videos from earlier, you can always catch these on YouTube. They never go away, and they are all there under Stamps by Me. You can also catch them over on our Facebook page also. So if you are watching from Facebook, YouTube, or my actual live website, then don't forget to comment, give me the thumbs up, and if you've got any questions, just pop them in the bottom, and if I can answer them, I will do for you. So just going back a little bit in reverse, we launched the members gift about 10 days ago, and some sneaky crafter found it really early, and I've seen all your lovely makes from the actual stamp. They are absolutely beautiful, but unfortunately I haven't had a chance to actually go through them and comment on them as of yet, because following that we had our 4-day deal, so it's been a little bit chaotic and we've had some dramas here in our studio, but we're here today. So I'm going to show you another technique on how to get the most out of your members gift stamp. We did a technique last week using it, so we'll do something a little bit different today. So if you did manage to get your members gift, this is still available over on Create and Craft. And thank you to everybody who's left a fantastic 5-star review on this item. It has been amazing and I thoroughly enjoyed it, and business permitting, hopefully there will be more to come. So that's that one. I'll also today be using the deco plate, the creeping orchid, and the coordinating die. So I'm going to show you how to use this in a different fashion as well. So you're all probably waiting and thinking, well, they're not new. You did say a sneak peek over on Facebook. Well, on Tuesday at 1 p.m, just confirming that's correct before I tell any fibs. Tuesday at 1 p.m, I'm down at Create and Craft, and with something brand new coming to the show. And we have our Colour Essence watercolours. Now, these have been in the making for a while. You might have seen something similar already on the market. And I did have them myself and I thought they were fabulous. But what it was missing was the core colour range, which I require when I'm watercolouring, and I know that you guys at home would love the colours as well. So a couple of emails to and fro, and here we are today with my own colour range, which is absolutely fabulous. So I'm going to show you what it is. So I'll just put it on the tech counter here. All very exciting. So this is a watercolour palette that contains 25 creamy essence watercolours. Okay, so if you bought our stackable watercolours with the circles, that's amazing. They were powder based, were those ones. These ones are cream based. Now I'm not going to stand here and tell you need them both. You don't need them both, okay? They both create amazing things. What they do create different looking artwork though. So with your ones that you stack on top, they create more of a chalky finish and a withdrawn finish, where these are really creamy and give you the vibrancy that you may be requiring when you come to do your own watercolouring. So I'm just going to talk you through it, and then I'm just going to show you a quick demonstration on the colours that are within, because some of these colours that I've put in within this collection are fabulous. So it comes within the plastic case. Also available with this, there is going to be a downloadable watercolour chart as well, so you can pick out the colours on here and you can pop them on your watercolour chart. You can pop it on your wall and you know it's going to be there safe, just for a colour chart for reference really. So So just a quick description then, because I want to get straight into some fabulous demos using these. So you get your 25 colours across the bottom here. Then on the left hand side here you get your water brush, which is a mini field water brush. So if you're out about on the go, you go into the caravan and things like that, it's absolutely fabulous. It's compact, it sits within here to hold it in place, so you're never going to lose it. You can just pop it in your bag and it all stays together. To use the brush, all you do is you spin off the barrel, you fill this part of it here with water, you pop it back on, then when it's not in use you pop the lid back on and pop it back into its slot here. You'll never lose it. That's why it's been created that way. So you also have on top here is your sponge. Now what's amazing about this sponge is it's detachable, so you can go and clean it off at your sink. So when you're painting and you need to get rid of the excess water from your brush, this will get very mucky, you'll see mine in a moment, mine's well loved. You can remove it, pop it under some soapy water or under the tap and clean it off. Then it will stick back in place and it's ready to go when you're ready to go on your next painting journey. So the 25 colours across the bottom, so this actually fans out. So I'll just show you. So I'll just quickly talk you through. These are the core colours that you would generally find within a watercolour station. So you've got your red, your blue, your yellow, your green, but I wanted a little bit more. And as you know, with all of our stamps here at Stamps by Me, they are predominantly floral based. So there wasn't really the colour range there to create what I really needed. And I know that most of you at home, including myself sometimes, are not the most confident at creating our own colours, although I do encourage it very much. It's a great way to learn how to put colours together and understand what works together well and what doesn't. But I also understand that people maybe not have the time to learn things like that. So these colours here are all your floral colours across here. So you've got a lovely peachy colour, a purple, a dark fuchsia, and a really dark fuchsia on there, but also on here you've got your aqueous colour. Now you wouldn't generally find these in a palette, you would have to create your own, but for this one I've had them purposely put in there so you can just pick it up and go. So it fans out like so obviously, and you can have it all on show when you're working. At the bottom here you also have a palette, so you can mix your watercolours within the palette. This is a wipe clean surface, it's absolutely amazing. But if you're just doing florals, you can just pop them all back in and just pull out the one that you require. You can pop it right to the top, pull it in next to your artwork, cross it over your artwork like so. You've got your sponge here, your water brush here should you need it, and you're ready to go. Okay, you don't have to fan it out, but people do like to fan it out because I like to see all the colours they've got. But you know, there is the opportunity there just to put the one in. Okay, so it's beautiful, it's compact. These are exclusive to Create and Craft TV and they will be live Tuesday at 1 o'clock. Now I've just got a piece of watercolour card here and I'm just going to show you the beautiful floral colours that I've had put within this collection here, so you can see how amazing they are really. So I've just got some clean clear water and I'm just going to wet my brush, and you'll see instantly as soon as I put my brush onto the colour how creamy they are. So I'm just going to go to this one here. You can see there it's turned a lighter shade. They are packed with pigment. So all I'm going to do, so you can see, keep going, just add a little bit more water there. They are absolutely gorgeous. Now this is true watercolour cardstock, quite granulated, but you can see there, it's absolutely gorgeous. So these are the colours that I have had put in, so let's just go for a different one then. Let's go for the bottom one. So I'm just making sure I pick up a lot of colour so you can actually see it. Can you see? This one's more of a translucent one, this one, there we go. See that there? And just swap it out for another one. So if you have got into your watercolouring and things like that, these are fabulous. Great for your florals, particularly the members gift one if you manage to get that one. So there you can see they're absolutely packed with pigment. They are absolutely gorgeous, so creamy as well. And if you let them air dry, they'll stay true to themselves, because if you burn them off with your heat gun, you burn the pigment and it will slightly fade. But if you leave them to air dry, the colour should predominantly stay the same. So let me just see if there is one more colour in here which we'd like to show. So let's try one of these lovely greens in here. Just turn this over. So they're absolutely gorgeous. You'll be able to do all your techniques with these like I've been doing on TV, and I'm going to show you some other lifting techniques on TV on Tuesday as well. So I'll just move this out of the way and we will crack on, and we will be using these today to show you some of the great things that you can get out of these. So I've just used that brand new one, but I did have my own because, you know, I like to waste not. But anyway, so this is the one that I've been using and it is well loved, and this is the one that I've just demonstrated, but they are both exactly the same. So what we're going to do is we're going to do 2 demonstrations, but before I go on to demonstrate any demonstrations, please remember to like and share on Facebook. Like and share on Facebook, and comment on the cards that I've made. I will post them after, and then if you do like the cards and you want to be in with a chance to win the cards that I make live in the studio here today, comment, say something if you liked it, which card you liked the best, and I'll pick a winner in a couple of days and I post the make out. I know that 2 lovely ladies have already received the makes that I've made over the last few weeks, so it is really lovely to, you know, to get something in hand that's been made in house. So first demonstration then. So I don't know if I'm teaching anybody to suck eggs, and I do apologise if this is the case, but I like to take things back to basics when we're doing new techniques. So for this one today we're going to do a little bit of no line watercolouring, and this is going to be using the members gift. So I'm just going to get my, so when I say members gift, it is this one. So you get the large floral image and then you get the 5 sentiments across there. So I know a lot of people have already got this, and well done if you have got it. So I'm just grabbing mine, that's well loved. So this one's mine. So just move this one out of the way. So I'm just going to take the large floral image. So for no line watercolouring, what that basically means is you're going to try and create an image that has basically no outline. So the lighter the ink pad you use, the better. Okay, so on this one, I'm just going to use just one that I've got in my stash, which is a Tim Holtz one, and it's called Tattered Rose. So you will have Tim Holtz's distress inks in your stash at home, I'm certain. But what you need to do is you need to make sure that the ink that you're using is the lightest of colours and you can barely see it. Okay, so just going to pop this down here like so. Just going to close the door. So I'm just going to ink this one up in Tattered Rose because this is quite a light colour. I did use old paper as well, but I felt old paper was a little bit too dark for this technique. So Tattered Rose first. So it should just give a very light image. You shouldn't really be able to see it. Although it's there, I don't really want to see it. It's just a suggestion, so it helps me with the next technique. So I'm just going to move that one up there like that. And then I'm going to take the stamp. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it across the top as well. Now I'm not going to be bothered about my stamp overlaying in the centre because we're going to hide that, okay? What I'm showing you how to do is extend the stamp. So albeit it looks like a border stamp and it's quite thin, I'm going to double the picture of it, so you could repeat the pattern of this and hide it where it joins in the panels. So I'm just going to do this one as well in the same colour. Like so. So you can see there I've doubled the strength. Now I have got a little bit of overlay on there, but you would actually get away with that if you wanted to. So don't look at your stamp as an entity as like a border. Try and think about the other ways that you could use it and maybe create fatter cards, wider cards. Not really word really, is it fatter, but wider, taller. So what we're going to do with this lovely card is, so when I say no line watercolouring, what that basically means is when I come to watercolour within the lines, excuse me, the colours that pop on will ultimately hide the outline. So I've just put my palette on here, as you can see. Just move my artwork down. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to get my mixing station as well. at the bottom. Now you could lose your wells in your Eureka if you wanted to. You know, we've brought out lots of tools over the course of the last 4 years, paints, palettes, paint brushes. You know, you get what you're comfy with. If it's other people's products, that's amazing also, but you get what you're comfy with, get sat down and enjoy it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use some of the pink on here. I'm just going to pick up some of the pink and I'm going to mix it on my station here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to watercolour one of the flowers. So I'm just going to get to zoom in for you so you can see the actual technique I'm going to show you. So I'm just going to add a little bit more water to this. So we'll go for this flower here. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to colour that petal there, like so. You can see how lovely these colours are. Like so, and then what I'm going to do is, it's no line watercolour, remember, I'm going to move away from there and I'm going to do the opposite one. Because what will happen is if you paint the whole of that flower, it will all bleed together. So you do those two, move on to something else. When those two are dry, we do these two. Okay, so I'm just going to move on to one of the other flowers. So we'll come down to this one here. Don't forget to leave white spaces if you can. And then we'll do this one here because it's not a connecting petal. And we'll do this one here. So I wouldn't colour that petal behind because it's connecting, and as soon as I add colour it will all fuse together and you will not get light and shade. Okay, so never do two petals that are together. So while that's drying, we'll move on to another flower. So I'll pick a different colour. We'll use this nice corally colour here, which is a pink colour. So we'll just pop this one in here. And then we'll go for the opposite as well. It's not connecting, so I know they're not going to bleed together. And we'll go for this one here. Like so, and that's the concept you would do. So whilst I was waiting for those to dry before I could go back in and do the other connecting petals, I would go in and do some of the green. So pick up some of the green, I'll pop it on my palette here. And I would go in and drop a little bit of green in there. And what happens when you pop the colour in, your outline sort of like gets pushed into the background, so you're left with what looks like a muted piece of paper. So just put the green in here. You know, if you wanted to be a little bit creative, you could drop a little bit of brown in as well to give you a sage colour down one side, create a bit of shadow there. So I'll go back now. They're not quite dry, but we'll pick up another colour. I'll go for yellow because it's at the front, and we'll pop some yellow in here. And then I'm going to move on to the opposite one so I don't get any bleed. And we'll pop a bit on that one there. And then when I've done the rounds and I'm absolutely certain I can't go any further because they're all connecting, what I will do is wait 2 seconds and then go back and add in the other petals. I'm not going to bore you with it, just stick to the idea of inking and stamping in a light coloured ink pad first, and then when you come to watercolour, just never do connecting petals, always do the opposite, then go back and do the other two here when it's dry so you won't get the bleed, and what will happen is you'll get instant light and shade. So just move this out of the way and I'll show you the one that I've done earlier. Just move that one out of the way. Excuse me. So here's one I did earlier. I hope you can see that there. So if you can see, it's pushed the image into the background and I'm left with what looks like a true watercolour picture. This part here where my stamp overlapped, that doesn't matter because I'm going to put a banner over that. So if you can see that there. It's really, really lovely. So let's put this on a card and show you how it pops from the page. So So because I've got pinks and purples in there from the new Essence range, I'm going to stick this onto my top folding note card. So this is a craft top note folding note card, and I've popped a piece of purple on there to help this pop from the page when I pop it on. So I'm just using my tape runner for speed. Pop this into the centre here. Right, so you see already it's coming together, and then ahead of time I created a little bit of a banner here. What I'm going to do, from the fabulous members gift collection, I'm just going to stamp the lovely image, sorry, not lovely image, the lovely sentiment which is within. So we'll go for birthday wishes. I don't think we have used this one on one of our demonstrations. So I'm just going to pop it, because I don't like really things symmetrical, I'm just going to pop it onto the right hand side here. I'm going to hold it in place. So I'm just going to stamp this in black. Like so. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to blast that off with my gun so I don't get an awful fingerprint. Let's pop some pads behind, just so you get a little bit of dimension. So you could add sparkle, sequins, beads, whatever you want to this one, but the technique is basically the colouring element of it. I'm just going to pop this one straight in the centre here. Make sure it's straight. And there you have beautiful watercolour card, which looks like you've actually watercoloured it and not used a stamp. So that's no line watercolouring. So that's demonstration number 1. I hope you liked it. Quick, super quick and easy. You know, we don't have lots of time in the studio, so if you get to try it, brilliant. Don't forget to post your makes on our Eureka fan page. Okay, so I'm going to move on to our second demonstration, and I'm just going to absolutely fly through this one because I know a lot of you already know the techniques that I'm going to show you, but I just wanted to show you something a little bit different. So I'll just pop that to one side. So don't forget to comment on our Facebook page to be in with a chance of winning today's makes. Right, so I have everything done ahead of time because this is quite a time consuming card, and I just wanted you at home to see the end result, and I can pop the details onto my Facebook page. So here I have again a top folding brown note card. Now this is bigger than my normal one, and what I'm going to do is, just to create a bit of dimension and depth on the back of this card, I'm just going to get some white re-inker. Just going to water it down a little bit on here. I'm just going to flick it onto my card to create a bit of a background, and then I'm going to set this aside whilst I show you the rest of my demonstration. Just clean that off. So this is a great way to get, you know, sometimes when you do a card and you look at it and you think it's lacking, it's really lacking, but I don't know what it's lacking. Splats is always a good way to go, you know. So I'll just set that aside to dry. Then what I did ahead of time is I got one of our stitched frames, our wonky stitch frames, and this is just in craft coloured card, so you get the stitch detail on there. And I used our lovely Orchid stamp and die, which is this one here, and I stamped and gold embossed it onto some vellum. So can you see that there? You see there the shine? And what I did was I used a typical parchment technique. I turned it over and I coloured it on the back side with my pencils. So for this one I used a white, a red and an orange pencil. And what I did was, obviously when you cut these through they are sat within a frame, that's a deco plate frame. I just snipped it out of the frame. So you can see there where I've coloured it on the back side there, and I've done it in gold embossing. It's absolutely beautiful. So what I've also used for this card is these, can you remember these? So these are our flourishes. So this was in the limited edition box. You can't get this on its own, unfortunately. It was within the limited edition box, but this is the first one we did, which was absolutely huge. So I used these two dies, and what I did is the same concept. I cut them out of vellum. There you go. And I coloured them in white pencil on the back side. Can you see that? There we go. I'm just going through all the elements that I did before air, because you would be here till midnight if I did this card on it. And then the same with the little one. And then I stamped and heat embossed "Happy Birthday, My Love" from the same stamp and die collection. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to come back to my card. And I'm just going to blast this off now because it's still not dry. So this is one of the demonstrations that I wanted to do on TV, but unfortunately time got the better of us, so I'm just making sure it is dry. I'm doing it from the back side as well. I've just got a few blobs on there that are going to take a while to dry, so I'm just going to take it off with my stamp cleaning cloth. I'm just going to take the thick of it off. There we go. There we go. Most of it is going to be hidden anyway, so you know, don't stress yourself out with it. So I think we'll leave that one then, see how we get on. So I've got my frame here and I've put some pads behind, so I'm just going to adhere this in place. And this is going to frame the artwork that you're going to place on top. Now, I don't traditionally use craft card, but with the parchment side of things, I really felt craft lent itself well to it. I was going to do black, so you know, if you are experimenting at home and you did get your deco plates, maybe try it in black, see what it looks like. I tried to step out my comfort zone when I'm doing these studios for everybody, because it's always good to learn new things, try new things. If it don't work, it's just a bit of card and paper, isn't it? So we can always move on. So I'm just going to stick this in the centre, straight as I can. There we go. And then as you can see here, look, this will creep up here with the gold embossing. You can see that there, it looks absolutely stunning. So I'm just going to pop a pad, little pad behind. But when you're using vellum, always make sure you hide the pad because it will show through. So I'm popping the pad in the centre of each orchid head. So I know when I come to adhere it to my card, when I come to adhere it to the card, you can see there I've got 4, it will stay put and you're not going to see the pad underneath, because it's unpleasant. You go through all that hard work and then you can see it. So I'm just going to do this creeping up the side. And then the large one of the ones that I used, just going to snip into it. And with a little bit of wet glue, I'm just going to create a little bit of a foliage. Now I'm using wet glue on this part because I know that this is going to be hidden underneath, like so. I'm just going to take the snip of this one. Just pop it under here so you can't see my makings with the glue. Like so, and then our lovely sentiment, I'll just pop a pad behind. Now I've popped that pad on there, I'm going to take it off because it will not sit right on my work. Bit of glue on this side. Because of the frame, you see, it won't sit right if you had two pads on there. So I'm just going to tuck this under here. Give it all a chance to dry. I'm moving it before it's dry. Give it all a chance to dry. Sit it in place. There you go, a lovely card with heat embossing on there to give you a great lift. So two fabulous cards using two of our latest products. I hope you like them. I will be posting them on Facebook. Don't forget to like and share, and don't forget to pop a comment on there. Let me know your thoughts, how we've got on, and I will pick a lovely winner and send these makes out to you. So whatever you're doing today, the rest of the evening, I hope you're having a good time. Enjoy it, whatever you're doing, and I will see you all hopefully next week for some more tutorials. See you later, everybody. Take care. Bye.